Yeah. Just so evil, Mormons. Why can't you figure this out? Why are you so blinded that you cannot see that this church is the church of Lucifer? It's his doctrines. It's his teachings. It's his behavioral control. Why can't you see the truth? Why do you reject the truth? They do not love you guys. When somebody hates you, they lie to you. They con you out of your money. It's plain and precious. How did you miss it? And the prophets of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints hate you. They're conning you out of your money. And they're doing it to get their kingdom back. They are the enemy. And if you support them and give them aid and comfort, you too are the enemy. Plain and precious. Plain and precious.
They go to the temple along with our 11-year-old young women.
She would be a second wife. She asked this question: would she be able to have her own house, or would she have to live with her husband and his first wife? I just told her to trust the Lord.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. Church News Time. 2 Nephi chapter 26, starting verse 29. He commandeth that there shall be no priestcrafts. For behold, priestcrafts are that men preach, and set themselves up for a light unto the world, that they may get gain and praise of the world. But they seek not the welfare of Zion. Behold, the Lord hath forbidden, section 119. Wherefore the Lord God hath given a commandment that all men should have love. And except they should have love, they were nothing. Wherefore, if they shall have love, they would not suffer the laborer in Zion to perish. But the laborer in Zion shall labor for Zion, for if they labor for money, they shall perish. I purposely dropped charity because that's screwing everybody up, because nobody seems to understand what the Book of Mormon is trying to teach you. That the Bible needs to be translated correctly. It's the learning of the Jews, not the learning of the Christian Mormons. But nonetheless, there is some economic advice here. One, you cannot have an economy whatsoever. You cannot have a monetary system. All monetary systems will fail because it will always end up being that there will be those who are greedy and want to have more than the other. Thus, the part about love. If you are greedy and selfish, you do not love. The other thing is that for Zion's economy, not only do you not have a monetary system of economy, but people labor for Zion. Now, nobody seems to know what this means, because it's never been done on earth before. People need to be invested in. We're not talking about communism, where you're given a subsistence so that you can labor for the socialist republic. We're not talking about fascism, where you give everything to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and they give you a subsistence. No, we are talking about making for Zion so that all may benefit. And in order to make, you've got to be given the necessary materials and equipment in order to make. That's the investment. There used to be, when you would go to a savings and loan, and I'm sure you have no clue what a savings and loan is, so I refer to that Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life. The big bad banks destroy the savings and loan in the end. And it was actually, when I was a kid, I remember my mom, oops, all my savings, gone. So, fun stuff. And so, I paid tithing and now I have no money because of the big bad bankers. The church got theirs, I got nothing. Got it. Okay. Why am I paying tithing again? As a kid. And so, it's a storehouse system. Joseph of Egypt, Malachi, storehouses. And from the storehouse, those who need to make food are given the seed and other stuff to produce fruit and vegetables and a power outage. Not yet. Wait just 6 more minutes. Then you can shut it off. And though technically I would rather no shut off, but more concerned with that than this video. I can redo this video, even though a lot of my humor will be lost forever. And so for clothing, for shelter, all of the basic necessities, including sex. Everybody leaves out sex for basic necessity. Without sex, human beings cease to exist on the face of the earth. Kind of necessary. But when you have big bad religions saying that it's evil, unless you pay us money, you mean my wife is a prostitute for you as the pimp. That's why I'm paying you tithing? That's why you don't want her to work? Even though if she does work, she has to pay you tithing too, so that I'm being pimped out? Yes, boys and girls, the church is a criminal organization. We're going to get more into that. And so, yes, people need to be invested in. So when you go to Zion on 8 April 2024, after the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is destroyed from the face of the earth, right? I know it's the enemy that has to do it, and if the enemy doesn't do it, then we have to wait until the enemy does it. It's not up to the good people. And so, yeah, if we were to ever get to Zion, those who survive and are righteous, because bad Mormons don't go. And I'm making a list and I'm checking it thrice. And I found out who's always naughty. You're never nice. These are gems. I've already forgotten it. And so, yeah, you're with nothing, utterly destitute. You make it to Zion. You now get everything you need and everything you want. Now you can't abuse the system because now you don't love. And those kinds of people always want to destroy it for everybody else. And instead of destroying it for everybody else, which is a fascist thing to do, oh, Billy ruined it for the rest of you. Everybody beat up on Billy. No, you get banned. You get booted out of Zion. And so otherwise, yeah, you know what you need. You know what you want. And you have to produce the fruits. That's how we judge you. If you're not producing any fruits, you're abusing the system. Now there are exceptions, those who are disabled and elderly and children. Obviously. But hey, if they want to do something, yeah, we'll let you, according to your capacity. But you're not expected. You will be taken care of by Zion, the people, not the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The people are Zion, not the administration, not the buildings. And that's how you solve poverty, because everybody gets what they need and what they want. So whatever they want to help Zion and build Zion with, they get. And all they have to do is produce the fruits. Easy breezy cover girl, or maybe it's Maybelline. And women, you really don't need makeup. You're beautiful just the way you were born. And women won't believe me. Nope, sorry Travis. President Monson said we need makeup, and so he's a living prophet of Jesus. He would never lie to us and tell us we're ugly. So, there's a UN commission on the status of women, and Sharon Eubank represented the church to say that, hey, we want to build bridges so that we can have a discussion and dialogue concerning how to help the poor, rather than actually helping the poor. This is why all of these administration stuff is worthless. It's not helping the poor. All they do is come out of there with good feelings. Yeah, I got to express my feelings and opinions. I was validated. But the poor will not be solved. And so she's trying to claim, boom. We know more now about what helps children thrive. Really? Now, after multi-millennia of humanity, now you finally figured it out. This is why these kinds of things are a waste of time and money. Somebody has to pay for this because they're doing it for money. They're in their job for money. And the poor are getting screwed when they're coming up with this crap. If we can empower parents, really? You finally figured out that parents are the key to successful children. Dear God. This is the fate of humanity right here. We're all doomed. Dear God. That was a complete waste of time. And they're the church. How do we fix poverty? We talk about it. Share our feelings. And then we can all feel good while the poor starve and die. On the streets. Naked. Dear God. Our government leaders do not want to solve the homeless poverty problem. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they will never solve the poverty problem. All they have to do is give up all their wealth to the poor and follow Jesus, and they won't do it. The parable of the rich man. Yeah, the church is wealthy. They're not giving their money to the poor. That's what they're supposed to do. They're a religion. They're not a kingdom. The United States of America is the kingdom that the church is supposed to obey. Jesus was inspiring the founding fathers to create the Constitution. And now the church wants to overthrow the government and the Constitution to have a kingdom for Jesus? Something's not right about this. And so yeah, the church never helps the poor. They cause poverty in Utah. And yet they have all of this praise from government leaders and religious leaders as they take them to welfare square and have them push a shopping cart for the first time in their lives. What's this contraption? It's called a shopping cart. You need an ID to get groceries. I'm going to tell my people in the next rally about this, and I'm going to implement it when I become president again. Yes, I'm talking about a specific person. And so yeah, what does the church do? They have UNICEF and all these other programs and corporations that they give a small portion of their vast wealth to, and claim that they're being charitable. The church is true because we gave this corporation money. The corporation is to help the poor, hopefully. You know, Utah Food Bank is the only charity I know of that actually gives the majority of the funding to groceries to the poor who need it. But yeah, the people in charge of it, they do need to get paid. It's their job. That's the big problem of the church giving to corporations rather than doing it themselves. What's the whole point of giving to other charities when you're supposed to be the charity? The church will not invest in Mormons to pull them out of poverty. Everything has to be a business transaction for the church. The church, by giving to these other corporations, if they're a Mormon or Mormons are on the board, yeah, they give back to the church with tithing. That's called money laundering. It's a crime. So Gail Miller, yeah, she's the biggest criminal of all because she's also human trafficking the homeless. Not helping the poor at all. And so yes, giving it to governments, giving it to corporations, giving it to religious leaders, the church is supposed to do it themselves. The church wants to be independent, to be their own kingdom, to overthrow the government, to get their kingdom back, and they don't even know how to be a kingdom in the first place. Otherwise, this is exactly what's going to happen. You give everything to the kingdom, you get a minimal subsistence if you work. That's what to expect for the millennial Zion of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. What they are doing now is what they will do if they get their kingdom. It's not complicated, it's very easy to see. So you're not going to have your job at whatever business you're working for, because the church will take it all over. You will have to work for the church. You will have to have a temple recommend. You'll have to meet your covenant path requirements. Do you know what they are? Apparently you don't. Because you're not faithful enough. Because you're supposed to be practicing polygamy. Are you practicing polygamy? You're not. Why aren't you obeying the living prophet of Jesus who made the change in 2019? It's real simple to do, right, women? Exactly. Life is going to suck. And you think it's going to be great. It's not. Remember all those ex-FOMOs who blamed Joseph for polygamy? Saying that he was stealing other men's wives and raping little girls? Who do you think actually was doing that? Because it wasn't Joseph. It's this church. Nelson's lowered the age to 11. Your 11-year-old girls will now be assigned to a priesthood leader. And you don't believe it, do you? Oh, the church would never cross that line. No. Yes. She used building bridges for charity. Where have we heard building bridges before in the state of Utah? Oh, right, with LGBTQIAPO+. How has that worked for LGBTQIAPO+? Well, the church burned the bridge down. And so what do you think they're going to do with the poor? They're going to burn the bridge down. It's what the church does. Everything the church does is a crime. It is evil. It is hateful. It is spiteful. They hate women. They hate the poor. They hate blacks and anybody colored. They hate the Jews. Am I missing somebody out of this? LGBTQIAPO+. They want conversion therapy brought back after it was finally stopped in 2021. Yes, 2021. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was forced to stop conversion therapy. Since 1950, right after World War II, when the Nazis were doing it to the Jews. The church picked it up and ran with it. They want it back because it works so well to torture people. That's all it is. It's a torture device. It does nothing to convert anybody. It causes trauma. That's it. It is a torture technique that does not provide any results from the torture other than the person is now traumatized. This is the church. They can't hide this. Mormons, if you are agreeing to all of this, you are the enemy. You are the threat. And you're going to be betrayed by your church because the devil never supports their own. They're going to murder you. Just like they're doing to Gazans of Islam. Islam purposely used Gaza to be the victims so that they can justify a holy war extermination of the Jews. Because all of those problems that you're hearing in the news, easily solved if Islam were truly innocent. They're not, because you don't know their religion about their latter days. And so the church, they're still rubbing it into the community of Christ Church. They screwed over the president, brand new woman. Church hates women. They only gave her 200 million, something like that, 193 or something. And so the church isn't letting it go. Because today, another article, church historian and recorder shares more about Kirtland Temple acquisition. Yeah, this is how badly we screwed them over. All of this is worth multi-billions. And the church got away with just 200 million. They are rubbing it in. And yeah, I've already done the videos showing you that the church is already making the changes to history. It's now under the church's control. So the church now controls the narrative. Community of Christ wants nothing to do with Joseph Smith, wants nothing to do with the history. They are a Christian church now. And you're going, but Mormons are Christian. Not in Christians' eyes. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. And then finally, for those 11-year-old girls, to prepare for the temple marriage to a polygamous leader, the First Presidency has come out with a little pocket pamphlet for little girls. We'll read again the First Presidency statement concerning the For Strength of the Youth pamphlet. Our dear young sisters, we love you and want to breed you. We have confidence in you. You are truly among Heavenly Father's choice, chosen spirits for us. Not creepy at all, is it? Sent to earth at this time to breed. These may be times when you don't feel strong or capable. But there's not much for you to do. Just be pregnant every single year until you can't. That's normal, especially in those moments. Turn to your priesthood holder, who's your husband. He is the strength of youth. Because there is no Jesus. How are they going to turn to Jesus? He doesn't exist. You have little kids being taught to talk to themselves. I'm talking to Jesus. This guide will help you build a solid foundation for making choices to stay on the ta-da covenant path. Shall we go over them again? 1, obedience. Women have to obey their husband. Yeah, you got punked in 2019. You think you obey Jesus. He doesn't exist. Are you saying that you're going to tell your husband, I'm obeying Jesus, dear. I'm not going to obey you no more? Nope. Because who speaks for Jesus? Nelson! And what does Nelson tell you to do to obey? Yeah, you go to the family proclamation. And there it is. Obey your husband. You got punked. 2, law of sacrifice. sacrifice. You got to commit crimes and do all in your power, even death, by suicide to make sure the church is protected from criminal prosecution. 3, can't criticize leaders of the church, even when that criticism is correct. Right, Oaks? I'm drooling, waiting for you to take over. It's going way too slow. Maybe you can speed it up. You did it with Monson. And so, yeah, Nelson also threw in 2019 that it's the higher law of Jesus. There is no higher law. Can't find it. Not in the Book of Mormon. Not in the New Testament. That is plagiarized in the Book of Mormon. 1769 King James Version errors and all. Nope. It refers to Section 132. There's the higher law. It's polygamy. And so number 4, covenant path. The law of polygamy. Yeah, they call it chastity because the United States kind of said no and shut them down. And so in order to have a temple again and go through the temple rituals of the covenant path, they had to change the wording. And originally the wording was changed to one man, one woman, in accordance with the laws of the land. And Nelson changed it back to Section 132. Yay! Polygamy of 11-year-old girls. And so, the final one, yeah, everything goes to the church and kingdom. Everything. Not 1/10. Everything. So, if you have to give everything to the church, what do you get? You get enough to survive so that you can keep giving everything to the church. The devil does not support his own. That is not in harmony with the Book of Mormon. The church will not invest in you. They claim that they're not going to be communist. They're not going to create a welfare state. That's not investing. That's giving fish. That's what the church currently does through the bishop's storehouses. But the church, to fix this problem, forces you to work. Even if you're an elderly person, wheelchair bound with an oxygen tank, you have to work. Yes, I had personal experience as a physical facilities representative for a Saturday. Got a call from the Relief Society president saying there's some people that are coming to make sure that they get food assistance, and so let me know if they showed up to work. I saw them and I went, you stay right there. I got this. Dear God, it's just so abominable. Right down the valley in West Valley. West Valley City Stake. She was the Relief Society president from the other ward. It was so appalling. Dear God. And so, yes, this is the church. Yeah. I've had over the years people say, well, my bishop doesn't do that. He actually gives to the elderly and the poor without expecting them to work. Well, good for that bishop. Is he excommunicated now? He's outside of Utah, I know that much. Dear God. Come on, guys. How many more videos do I have to make until it's clear that this church is abominable? It's the great and abominable church prophesied by the Book of Mormon. But you say, nope. Book of Mormon is true, but it's not that kind of true. They're gonna get punked. And so, yeah, there's more stuff in here. Prepare to serve a mission, not girls, only boys. And find joy in following Jesus Christ throughout your life. He's an idol God. We hope you feel that you belong in the Savior's church. Have power from Him. See how they're manipulating you? To fulfill His purposes for you. Yeah, Jesus is a taskmaster. I want nothing to do with Jesus. And so, yeah, you get people who are raised up in abuse, being told that it's Jesus. Sorry, nothing I can do about it. Jesus orders me to do this to you. They've never read the Bible, or the Book of Mormon, or Joseph Smith. And so they grow up hating the Bible, hating the Book of Mormon, hating Joseph Smith, blaming Joseph Smith, blaming the Bible and religion in general. Because this is how children get raised. And so the way to solve the issue with parents is to invest in the parents and to give agency, not take agency. Because taking away agency is Jesus Christ's plan of happiness for His children. It's not complicated. This can't be true. This is Lucifer's way. Why can't you see this? Why do you hate me? And so making inspired choices, Jesus Christ will help you. Really? No, He won't. And so here's the trap. Eternal truths, which are misinformation and miseducation, invitations, which are not invitations, they are orders, and then false hope beliefs are blessings. They promise you blessings if you submit to their will. This is for children. And so love God, love your neighbor. Really? So you love by taking away agency. Yeah, I recall whose plan of happiness that is. And say they use the Good Samaritan as their example. Do you even know the Good Samaritan? Because the church won't tell you the truth about the Good Samaritan. They'll just show you the Good Samaritan and say, yeah, it's in the Bible. Love God, love your neighbor. Good Samaritan. Yep. See, in this particular case, the guy didn't lose everything he had. He still had. He was just on his way to, and got robbed and beat up and left for dead. And so he didn't really need to be restored for everything with a home and a family and like Job. But in this particular case, it's all that was needed to restore him. The guy didn't need to do this. But he did it because he loved them. Sent him to get medical help to restore him back to health, and then provided the food and the temporary shelter until he was ready to go back on his own, to go back to his family and his home and whatever. That's the main story, is helping people get restored. Because those who did it got away with their crime. God, let's set it up the whole way. Walk in God's light. Lucifer's plan of happiness is not light, it's darkness. It causes Mormons to be stupid and hateful and violent. You end up judging other people who do not follow the For Strength of the Youth pamphlet. You will not associate them. Oh, you're not following the For Strength of the Youth pamphlet. I can't associate with you. You're a bad influence on me. Ooh, is that love? Your body is sacred. No touchy. There's the eternal misinformation, the eternal lies. We need sex. The church says no. You must pay us before you can have sex after being sealed in the temple. No masturbation, no orgasms, no thoughts. They fully strap you down and take away your agency with miseducation about sex. There are no blessings from this, because the blessings are actually a curse, because men can't not. They get so wound up that they cause the rapes that have escalated in this valley. You have women who abuse their husbands, who say, well, the church says that you can just turn it off whenever you want. Wow, that marriage is doomed to die, because the man did all he could to hold off until marriage, and he really didn't. But he's not going to tell you. Only to be told no in the marriage. And so thus domestic violence is on the rise in Utah. God. Truth will make you free. It's set you free. Because you're being lied to, thus in bondage. And so being told the truth will set you free. Already they got it wrong. Let's see if it is that way in John, though, because that's what they're referencing. No. Yeah. It is this. The truth will make you free. Let's see, 32. Looks like this is the only place where it is found. I'd have to go to the original, so we'll let them get away with this. Only because I don't have the reference books ready on hand. But no, the church lies. They're not telling you the truth. But in their lies, they're saying that you will be free by believing their lies. And then the woman at the well. Oh, dear God. 10 Commandments. Who's 10 Commandments? Jesus, right? Thou shalt have no other Jesus before Jesus, right? Wrong. There's a lie. This is the Jewish Christ. It's not Jesus. There's the big lie right here. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints replaced the Jews. Supersessionism. The replacement theory. The church is claiming this refers to the Mormon Jesus. Christians are upset. They say it refers to their Jesus. Islam is upset. They're saying it refers to their Jesus. All of you are wrong. It's the Jews. The Jews gave you the Bible. And the Book of Mormon says it's in the learning of the Jews. Thus Joseph Smith in the learning of the Jews. This is the big lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Oops! That's it? Interesting. They really shortened this down. Got rid of everything. I knew I was right. I did get a copy of it, right? Yeah. Just so evil, Mormons. Why can't you figure this out? Why are you so blinded that you cannot see that this church is the church of Lucifer? It's his doctrines. It's his teachings. It's his behavioral control. Why can't you see the truth? Why do you reject the truth?